Some ANC supporters have taken to the streets of Isipingo outside Durban. They're not happy with the election results. A coalition will be needed to run eThekwini, which Isipingo falls under. Dason Tatia is on the scene for us. Dason, what exactly are we seeing on the ground, and what are the grievances of the people who've taken to protest?
Well, let me first show you what's happening here right now. We're in Isipingo on the M35. You'll see that this road behind me is now finally being cleared. It's been blocked since the early hours of this morning. Police officers responded en masse. They were here, they had to move out some of the debris, the bottles, and even put out the fires that were blocking this road, which is quite a busy one. You can imagine the impact at that hour of the morning when peak traffic is traveling. So there's still a heavy police presence here as they try to maintain some kind of order. But in saying that, it doesn't mean that the protesters that are off to my left here are necessarily happy. Their issue relates to not just a particular political party. Their issue is in relation to them not being able to vote, as they say. About 200 or 300, according to those that I've spoken to, say that they had gone to their voting stations, but when they'd arrived there, the registration details were incorrect, and this angered them. So before getting to the point of protest, they also tell me that they had in fact contacted the IEC. But what I'm going to do now is actually bring in one of the residents here who will just unpack a little bit further. Mrs. Tracy Keliza, thanks so much for joining me. I know that the issue is around voting and registration details. What exactly is the problem? I'll hold it for you.
Okay, inkinga khona ukuthi sinenkinga ku IEC. IEC ngendlela owenze ngayo sikholwa ukuthi khona la engenzekanga kahle khona because ngenkathi abantu abaningi mebeya kwi voting station yabo abajwayele ukuvota kuyona iminyaka, but uma ngabe sebeyovota kuthiwa abekho bakhonje kwezinye indawo engezona ezala sihlala khona. Manje iyona into esixakayo ukuthi kwenzeke kanjani, so ikona sikhalaza ngo IEC. Okunye khona esinye isiteshi sethu esiphinde futhi naso uma ngabe ngenkathi sekufanele sekubaliwe ama result slip iwona ngazangaza atholakala ngangokuba ubhuto oyiphethe waze wabiza amaphoyisa. So sifuna ukwazi ukuthi kwakwenze njani because siyezwa ngabanye ababekhona ukuthi kwaze kwabiza amaphoyisa. So sifuna ukuthola lezo impendulo ukuthi ayilahleke kanjani ama result slip aze yatholakala kwezinye indawo. Ikona asinankinga ngokuthi mhlambe kuphathe linye iqembu kodwa sibona ngathi kukhona la ngekho khona ubulungiswa.
You did say that you had written to the IEC last week Wednesday. Was that a letter by yourself personally, or was it on behalf of the community? And what was the main points that came out of that letter?
Okay, sayithumela incwadi sithumela ku IEC asithumelanga incwadi sathumela i-email. Mesithumela i-email ayikazi ibuye impendulo. Inkinga esasiyibala izona lezi bengizisho ukuthi bekuwukuthi kuma voting station esijwayele ukuvota kona iminyaka abantu abatholakala. Ikona ke sifakile i-complaint nale voting station eyagcina ifika amaphoyisa ngenxa yokuthi ezinye izinto ayitholakalanga.
And lastly, Mr. Keliza, tell me, this is now a DA ward, I stand to be corrected. It used to be an ANC ward. Is one of the concerns around that, around the fact that if so many people were not allowed to vote, do you think it could have changed the leadership in this ward?
Yebo ngicabanga kanjalo ukuthi bezoba khona umehluko bengeke mhlambe siphathwe iDA ngaphandle mawukuthi kwenziwe ubulungiswa sakholwa nathi sayibonela ukuthi ngempela iDA ithathe ngokubulungiswa. Sijwayele vele ukuphathwa amanye amaqembu ewadini, hayi ngoba sikhonondela ukuthi mhlambe kuthatha iDA kodwa ingoba izenzo this time azange zize zisiphathe kahle.
Thank you so much for your time. Now this is one of the things that we are seeing in the aftermath of the elections, where communities are coming to protest about this very issue. This isn't the first that we've seen. In fact, we saw residents come out at the Dalton Hostel in the Durban CBD protesting about similar issues, also blockading the road. So it's important now to hear how the IEC will be responding to some of these concerns, because certainly you can see that despite the fact that the police have opened this road once again, this community is still very angry and they are willing to continue this protest.
Well, Jason, in those protests you spoke about just a few days ago involving the Dalton hostel residents, there was quite a bit of destruction to property. Has the same happened here, or is it just the blockade of the road? And is there any chance we'll get a response from the IEC?
Well, we'll certainly try to do that, but I think the biggest damage here is to this road, which is just one of the main roads in the area, and especially now that there are a lot of bottle pieces that have been thrown out here. The fire department will have to be called in, according to the police officers, to clear this out, just to ensure that it is safe for people to travel here. But it looks like the damage to the road surface itself is going to be quite permanent.
All right, Jason Tatia out in Isipingo and Durban for us, where there are protesters who have taken to the streets. They say they're not happy with the election processes that took place when we had the elections last week.